So the terminologies that we're using are Afrorock, Afroswing, and Afrobeat. Does anyone want to educate me on what these things mean?
Please.
Even with Ed Sheeran, I feel like this is not. I feel like it worked out because.
I was about to say,
because
Shape of You is...
First of all, it's Ed Sheeran and he's black.
See? Why is he black? Why is he black? Because he's good.
He's always been black, okay?
He's good.
Sorry.
I thought Lucky Dube was a reggae artist.
It's so complicated. Not really. No, he can't.
In
No,
my
he
head,
can't.
he was a reggae artist as well, yeah.
I didn't even know he was African until I got older.
Same.
I thought him and Bob Marley were mates.
Yeah.
Like, I thought...
On this episode of The Sounds of Black Britain, we'll be looking at the influence and legacy of African sounds and style on Black British music. From Afrorock to Afroswing, we've got it all covered. Afrobeat, hip-hop, lovers rock, jungle, UK garage, grime, Afroswing. With its fusion of Caribbean, African and American sounds, all served with a UK twist, Britain can claim to be black music's most innovative hub. This is Sounds of Black Britain. In our previous episode, we talked about the Notting Hill Carnival and how the sounds of the Caribbean have changed British music and culture. This time, we're looking at the influence of the continent on our music scene here. Joining me to discuss how African sounds have shaped the sounds of the UK is super producer Jae5 alongside dancer singer Nqobile. I love that you don't know that you made up Afroswing, Jae5.
I heard it, I just heard it a lot. The first time I ever
Pioneer.
heard the term was Kojo Funds, actually.
Same.
That was the first time I heard it.
Yeah.
And even then I was thinking, what the hell are you talking about?
So what do you call your music?
I have no name for it. I just make music. I don't... People think we sit down and I'm going to call it. I'm just making beats.
Okay, well, luckily, this episode is called Afrorock to Afroswing.
Okay.
So for the sake of the exercise, you are the sole creator and owner of Afroswing and no one made it before you. But it'd be good to hear about your first experiences with Afrorock. Take us back to being at home. You were born in South Africa?
Yeah.
So take us back to being at home and you hearing Afrorock with your family, friends, whoever that was.
I definitely remember Fela, my dad blasting Fela, Congolese music. Could that fall under Afrorock? I think so. I think anything 60s, 70s African music that had a bit of live feel to it, listen, that's Afrorock. Whatever country you come from, Afrorock.
It's all in there.
Yeah?
Right.
Exactly. So, Lucky Dube, Fela, for me, that's what I remember.
How would you describe the sound to someone if they hadn't heard it yet? What would you say are the key points? I know you're not the expert on this, so don't worry. But what would you say is something to you that says this is the Afrorock vibe?
It's a live feel, like Jimi Hendrix, but African version. That's what I get.
Okay.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I get you.
Thank you,
I
guys.
get you now.
Don't copy it. Don't copy it.
I get you.
What about you? What was your earliest memory of the Fela day?
I didn't know who the artists were. I just know the sounds.
Same.
So as I got older and then they were like, that's Fela, I was like, I know that song and I'm singing along, but I didn't realise that I knew it.
Yeah.
So like Lucky Dube, I grew up on him. Like I lived in Ghana and the two biggest artists were Lucky Dube and Celine Dion. Like those were the two biggest artists.
Ghana?
In Ghana.
That's wild.
In Ghana.
That's such a... How is anyone even mixing those two genres together?
It was so random. It was so... But they were huge. And they would spin them back to back. Like, they'd go from Celine Dion to Prisoner, Warrior, like...
Really?
Yeah, they would, like...
Shouts to Ghana always. GH.
Yeah, so, like, I never knew... I always thought Lucky Dube was a Caribbean artist. I thought he was just Bob Marley.
I remember the same, yeah.
Until I got older and then I started understanding, it's actually an African artist with... like African heritage.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I was exactly the same. I don't know why that was. Also, to be fair, my parents used to listen to a lot of West Indian music.
Yeah.
Bob Marley, Beres Hammond, John Holt, all the time in my house.
Yeah.
So there was never a bit where we put on the African music, quote unquote African music. It just was, we was listening to stuff. And then because Lucky Dube has got a reggae sort of energy to it, I just thought it was all the same.
Yeah.
So I didn't
hear
actually
that.
have a clear way to distinguish between the two. Whereas it's completely different for you, I'm assuming.
Completely, yeah. Even someone like, a good example I feel for the females, Brenda Fassie, because
I love
she's
it.
a bit complicated as well. But for me, she's she's a rock chick. That's Afrorock.
That's
to that
Afro rock
core.
as well.
Listen, today we're creating it. It's Afrorock.
I don't know.
We've decided.
I don't know
To
if
be
you're right.
honest, who are the artists? It's just from my understanding anyway. She'd fall under like Afrorock because she gives me old school Rihanna vibes where she can fall under pop, this and that. That's Brenda Fassie, but she's the original bad girl Afrorock.
Whether it's blues, jazz, or funk from the US, calypso, ska, or reggae from the Caribbean, or rumba, mambo, and samba from Latin America, so much popular music carries strong influences from Africa and its global diaspora. But how much do you know about Afrorock and the UK bands that were at the forefront of a fusion of rock music and West African sounds? Today, we're diving into the innovative styles created by Africans within and beyond the continent itself, and looking at the pathway from there through to Afroswing, the sound of the new generation. Okay, so we've got Afrorock, then fella makes Afrobeat.
Yeah,
Yeah, without the S.
Without the S, that's very important. Thank you for saying that. Without the S. And that, to you guys, is what? How would you describe that to someone? Why is that different to Afrorock, if at all? Was it that he named it that? What did anything actually happen? Was it about the community? Was it about the people? Was there any noticeable difference in that when you heard that music?
I think Afrorock has alternative elements like from pop and this and that, where Afrobeat is literally conch, Afrobeat, African, West African music.
Right.
That's my understanding. So
Right.
like even from like the performances, the live performances with the dancers, the cultural, the costumes, everything is pure African, like pure West African. That's Afrobeat for me. Then Afrobeats, it starts to become a bit, you know.
And if you're listening,
And
you can't
it's
see the
cool.
shoulders, but the shoulders have started moving.
I would have thrown fella and that into Afro rock. I would have thought the live,
Same.
because the guitars, the live, like they have songs that were 12 minutes long. Their vibes and like live bands, the
Yeah.
brass. Like I would have thought that's like Afro rock. And like fella, a lot of his influences were high life music. A lot of it from Ghana actually.
Yeah.
Because he
Facts.
actually lived in Ghana for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So like I've always like I've never known what Afro rock is, but if someone said Afro rock, the first name I would have called would have been
Is
fella.
Fella.
Yeah. I can't believe that it's just a single letter that makes them two different things. Do you think people are really taking notice of it's Afrorock, then it's Afrobeat, then it's
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Until
Who is the person naming these things?
Yeah, where did you get it from? 'Cause until today,
Boy.
I didn't know there was a difference between Afrobeat and Afrobeats. Until today, it
Yeah.
was the same thing to me.
Afrobeat is different. It's a lot more like the fella, super cultural. It's very spiritual. But for us, we kept it sexy, very new school,
Yeah.
which was Afrobeats. So that's how I
Okay.
knew, there's a huge difference.
I love that the difference between Afrobeat and Afrobeats is Afrobeat is spiritual. It's got maybe some like political. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's about that.
Yeah.
Afrobeats is sexy.
Yeah.
You want the girl to just be in love with you. You want to give her all your money. It's
Right.
international and it's global and it's sexy. I like that's the
I
two
like
differences
that.
between that.
Okay.
Do you remember when you first came over to the UK, how
Yeah.
much Afrobeats you were hearing? And Jay, you lived in Ghana for how long?
I lived in Ghana for 3 years. Back in London when I was 13. So
Okay.
10
Did
to
you guys
13.
remember hearing Afrobeats with an S outside of your homes, which is I'm sure where you
Yeah.
normally hear it? Where were you guys hearing it?
First, it was the hall parties, so the family hall
yeah,
parties. That's
yes.
where the high life was kicking off. That's where, do you know what I mean? That's where Two-Face, like African Queen, those
Yeah.
rhythms were running. And then as we got older, like for me, when it started getting to like, all my friends were in uni. Like when the uni scene was happening, that's when Afrobeats really started to take off.
Where'd you go to uni?
I didn't even go uni. I was tagging along. I'd end up like, you know what I mean? All my friends, like DJ P Montana and all these guys,
Yeah.
and Afro B were all DJs. And I would tag along to all their unis, but I never went.
So you wasn't actually in uni?
Nope.
I'm laughing, but I did the same thing.
No,
I
yeah.
dropped out after my
was
first
the
year, but I was just going up to Hertfordshire for no
Stop
reason.
it.
Yeah.
I dropped out as well my second year. But I was the tag along. It's like the second.
Woohoo! Did you even go?
I didn't even go.
He didn't go to drop out. He was just out from the
No,
beginning.
I just never. I looked at it and it wasn't for me. It's
Yeah,
like,
I wish I thought. I wish I clocked that at the beginning, but that's a different episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
But so, okay, cool. So university.
Yeah.
And is that in the what was it called? What was the black union thing called? We don't know because we all dropped out.
UCAS or whatever.
No,
not
there
the
was
Oh,
UCAS.
the
that,
African Caribbean Society and
Yeah,
all this and that.
ACS. Shouts
Yes.
to everyone that was
So
part of
were throwing-
ACS.
They were throwing all these raves, stamina.
Yes.
And
God.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I remember that. Wow.
They like for me, they made it cool to play Afrobeats because before then, when I was in college,
Yeah.
the rave was bashment. It was a
Same.
It was bashment. You didn't
Same.
get Afrobeats
Yeah.
weren't getting a spin.
Yes.
And then when we got a bit older and then stamina.
I'm gonna pause you. Sorry, the only Afrobeats that was getting a spin was Premier Gaou.
Oh my gosh, at the
end of the party.
rave.
That was the last song, yeah. That's all we got in the clubs. At the very end of the party, and they played it for about 2 minutes, if that. And then the lights came on and the party was done.
It was lit though.
Yeah, it was.
It was this and what is it? Sweet Mama.
Yeah, I never forget you. Yeah,
that's all we heard,
yeah, but that was seasonal. That was if it was near Mother's Day, then you get that one in the party.
Wow.
Yeah. They was being stingy. They was being mad stingy. So shouts to P Montana as well, actually. So there was a group of DJs, obviously in different parts of the city, I'm assuming, but that's when you guys started seeing Afrobeats being introduced into actual clubs and parties. Was it the same for you?
Yeah, pretty much the same. It was literally no Afrobeats till, around uni times.
So were you dancing at this time?
No, I started dancing 2010.
Okay.
And Afrobeat, there wasn't really Afrobeats. It was still D'banj and I wasn't really aware. And like the other two girls I was in a dance group with, they were like, it's the biggest Afrobeat artist. Da-da. I'm like, what's Afrobeats? And then I slowly got into it. I'm like, whoa, this is it. Then with D'banj, Oliver Twist, it's just like, it just went up from there.
Yeah.
What year was that? What year was D'banj Oliver?
I'm so bad with years.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
It was 2011, but officially the song was re-released 2012.
Okay.
With the whole Kanye thing.
You're the opposite of me. You're very good with dates. I'm so bad with dates. Do you guys remember there being any other styles of African music out at this time? Were we hearing High Life? Unless you was going...
So for me, obviously like the hall parties, it was Kojo Entry. It was.
Wait, I need you to explain what a hall party is first for those that don't know.
The hall party.
Come on, take us there.
How do I explain it? So this is where you got to see all your cousins. Yeah. This is the point where you linked up with all your cousins you ain't seen in time. Where you can the parents go and get waved in their corner. Yeah. So they're not monitoring you. Like you can really do what you want. Like we would find a way to get outside.
Yeah.
And be outside running around. The whole party was just a big family link up, and like. For me, at that age, the family link up. We don't really have. You didn't link with your school friends. You linked up with your family members. I think the whole party was. It was just a rave for the young for us.
That's exactly what it was. It was the first raves that we ever went to, and our house. Well, I can only speak for but a lot of my friends' houses. Our houses weren't big enough to have all your family friends around, and also we lived in different parts of London. Yeah. So traveling was long, and then we can't all fit in a house anyway. So the whole party was literally a hall. Like it could have been the hall of a primary school. Or, you know what I'm saying? So all the schoolwork's still on the walls. Like you can still see whatever kids went to that school, their work was still on the walls. You know when you stick pasta. Dry pasta. Like, all of that stuff was on the walls. But somehow we just managed to infiltrate. You bring in that's where party jollof came from as well, for those that don't know. Party jollof is jollof rice that's from the party. It's got a very different taste to regular house jollof. I don't know why. I think it's because Ghanaians made it. I feel like Ghanaians make party jollof.
I don't know.
Or because they make it in bulk. Because the pots are large.
And it's Ghanaian one, but they make it in bulk.
We're not gonna get into that. I'm neutral though because I'm South African, so it's
No, go on, just answer. It's okay. Which do you prefer?
Okay, listen.
Be honest.
I feel like the Ghanaian one, I like how it looks and how it feels, like how slim it is. But the taste,
the Nigerian one?
Fair play.
Especially the smoked one.
I'm going to say on record, I actually do prefer Ghanaian jollof rice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I do as well. You know what? I actually like Nigerian jollof rice, but I don't like the chicken they use.
Is it like the boiled chicken? Is that what you're talking about? It doesn't really break away.
You don't break away. You get sauce in your eye. Like, you know, like...
But you're fighting.
Yeah, you're fighting it. That was the one thing that lets them down.
You get sauce in your eye,
mate.
I've been there. On your eye, on your clothes. Yeah. Pool parties. So that's where you were hearing High Life.
I didn't even realize I was taking it in. When I started actually producing music and I was trying to make grime beats, my brothers are mocking me saying, why does this sound like Afrobeats? Like, what? People don't realize I weren't trying to make any Afro swing or whatever. I was really trying to fit in. I just couldn't because all I'd heard was the whole party music. And do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah.
It's weird. I didn't necessarily know Nigerian artists, but I knew I was listening to Ghanaian artists. So I had this thing at home. We were listening to reggae, and then I would listen to High Life. So I've always had that thing of African music to me has always been High Life music.
Okay.
It wasn't until the WizKids of the world that I felt like I was listening to Nigerian artists.
I hear that.
I don't know why. It's very random. I'm trying to think of some old school Nigerian.
Like Two-Face was the oldest that I knew.
Yes.
That was like Wande Cole. I think like those guys, even though they're new, they've been doing music for a long time.
Yeah, they have.
So I feel like those are the guys that I knew from the Nigerian side. The Ghanaian artists, obviously I'm Ghanaian. My mum's spinning it. She's spinning funeral music. Some of them I can't name the artists.
It's never going anywhere.
Do you know what I mean? But like the Nigerian artists, I feel like they were able to take like bits of High Life and evolve.
Right.
That's what Nigerians do though. They really like to take it.
Yeah, but they really
Are
good
you
at
okay?
it.
Is there something you want to get off your chest?
Girl, no, I'm good.
You know what, yeah? The truth is, I respect it, yeah, because we do get stuck in our ways. Like Ghanaian music, we tend to get stuck in our ways sometimes, yeah.
Right.
And like when someone else does something different that's Ghanaian influenced, I really love it. So like I love Black Sheriff right now because he's mixing it up.
Okay.
Whereas I feel like before Ghanaians got comfortable. They was like, yeah, we're high life.
I mean, the music's good.
Yeah.
It's easy to get comfortable when the music's that good.
Yeah.
But that's what music is about, actually. It is about hearing those things. And you're one of the people, definitely, Jay, I know from just watching you and listening to you that you have, even though, like you said, you was trying to make grime music, but it was sounding like high life. You clearly had different, it wasn't working, he said. You clearly had different influences. But going back to, what would you say were the things that were making your brothers say, my guy, this is high life? What are the instruments? What are the elements?
The drums,
that make...
the percussion. So I'm listening to grime music and it's not that like, there's not that much percussion going on. It's just a boom, cha, cha, boom, boom. But I'm putting bongos in there. Boom. I'm like, do you know what I mean? I'm just thinking, okay, I need some percussion. I need some grooves. I'm not even realizing. And then also when I was in Ghana, internet wasn't amazing at the time. So I'm trying to remember what grime sounds like. I'm not actually listening to where it's gone in it. So I'm trying to remember what D-Double's last freestyle sounded like, or do you know what I mean? Like the Deja Vu sets.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting it. And then when I got back to London and I'm playing the beats to people, man are looking at me like, what the? What is... They were calling me alien beats. Like, it's just, it wasn't working. But when Afrobeats came in,
You was ready to go, boy. Your hard drive was full up. You said, I've been doing this for
I got so lucky it fell in place. It just fell exactly where I was.
Yeah.
But you
know what I
created
mean?
your own lane without knowing.
Yeah, to be fair.
Know what I mean?
The sounds of the African diaspora, of those people once taken in chains to the Caribbean, North and South America, has returned to influence the motherland. The influence of soul, funk, hip-hop and house can all be heard in Afrobeats, with an S, which is now established as a global musical style and culture. And here in the UK, we've taken that and remixed it again, adding flavours of UK garage, grime and trap to create Afroswing, the sound of a new generation of Black Britain with Africa at the forefront.
I'm a huge Wiz fan, but I feel like Wiz has evolved to worldwide Wiz now. Obviously, you can tell, okay, this guy's traveled to this place. There's a lot of influences. And it's so beautiful. You can so hear his UK influence as well, which excites me. So
like,
for
True
me.
Love is very different from a Dua Lipa. Like it's a completely different world.
Yeah.
But the man could do both.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's very real.
Do you know what I mean?
I know Burner lived in the UK.
Yeah.
I don't think Wiz ever lived. I know he spent time. I know
He spends a lot of
travelled.
time here, but
I don't think he
know
ever
if
lived in the UK. I'm trying to think if there's more artists, because Burner naturally, I think you can hear that he uses UK slang just in his everyday chat.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm trying to think of more artists that still have that sort of, like you said it really, you worded it really nicely, of that you can tell that they've travelled and they've heard different things. I think maybe Tiwa Savage might be in there. I feel like Tenny still sounds very African.
Hey, she's wavy.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Her vocal game?
Hey.
Tenny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still feel like she sounds very home.
I think she's trying to keep it that way. As
Right,
well,
okay, yeah. Davido's background is he was...
He's been in America quite a bit, isn't it?
I think he lived in America. I feel like I hear more UK in Davido than I hear American.
Davido, when he's speaking, it creeps in.
Yes.
But in his
Yes.
music,
Yeah.
you don't notice it. Yeah, but when he's speaking,
In his music though, it's not...
It's not prominent.
It's not American. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no US...
Yeah.
I don't know, you can't see me because
I
there's... but like, there's no...
I feel like the UK accepted Afrobeats a lot quicker than Americans did.
We're just quicker at everything. Like, the US is so late. It's so behind.
Like,
Not in a bad way, guys. US people, we love you.
We love you. We love you. But yeah, no, and there's definitely reasons for that. But my question is, why do you think it's easier to incorporate, and you can disagree with me if you want to, but why do you think it's easier for artists to incorporate that UK sound to their African Afrobeats music than it is to put US? Because I've never, we hear Chris Brown, Lucky Day on Afrobeats now, and it sounds great, but it still feels separate.
Yeah.
Whereas with UK, it kind of just works.
I feel like UK have been doing it for a while, and also UK have had artists that are from here, that live here, that were also trying to do what the Africans were doing. So it feels a bit more natural. It's just like, we've always had UK artists trying to make Afrobeats and trying to compete with Wiz
Right.
and those guys. So it's always been really close. Whereas as soon as the American accent comes, I'm like, It sounds good, but I'm not used to it. It's a curve, but like Chris Brown's version of the Lil J song is crazy.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting it. I would expect to hear Huss on it. I would expect to hear a UK person. I just didn't expect an American.
Yeah, that's very true. Do you think we'll continue to hear our UK artists making and I think it's gone even further down this route now of they're actually making Afrobeats. I think before there was this, I'm British and I've got this sort of energy of Afrobeats. But now you've got UK artists making Afrobeats. Do you think we'll continue to hear that?
1,000%. I just feel like people in general now, people are embracing their culture more, and it's super cool to be African. Hello. So like everyone's coming to this side. A lot of my Caribbean friends, I'm like, hello. You were cussing me, now you want to be a part. I don't think so. Not joking. But I feel like definitely. I feel like just the African culture in general, it's just evolving, it's growing, it's taking over worldwide. Be it Afrobeats, be it Amapiano, be it whatever. Just Africa in general, forget. Just forget.
People are a lot prouder. It's weird. Like, they were a lot prouder. When I was younger, like, if they asked where you're from, you'd stutter a bit before you dance.
Or say it quietly.
I'm Ghanaian, but I got a string vest on. Do you know what I mean? Like,
the string vest, that's the red, yellow and black one as well.
But now it's like, you say it with chest.
Yeah.
So I think it's changed drastically, and I think that change has made people feel, I'm going to do it. What the hell?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I loved when one thing I loved about Burna Boy was he had an African accent in his interviews.
Yes.
But I would link him and he sounded like me, British.
Yes, yeah.
He was putting it on for like, so I was like, he's like, bro, man's Af.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas a lot of the artists that I grew up on would come in an interview and they sounded American. And I'm like, I know you've never been to America before. Why do you sound like that? Do you know, like, that used to bug me.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it used to bug me, but it used to bug me.
It bugs me till this day.
Yeah. It's just, and then I saw an interview and Burna was just Af, and I was just like, that's my guy.
Yeah. He's really out here. Yeah. I love that about him as well. Jay, for you, whether you know it or not, he doesn't seem to. Jay doesn't know that he's leading Afroswing. He doesn't know that he's the leader of Afroswing. I just feel like there was a time, when producers were very aware that they are in England. They were raised in London and they're very British. There's a Britishness to them. Afrobeats to me is the first time that I've heard culture that's from another place. So I heard grime being made, but that didn't come from a country.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not got a country's heritage to it. Hip hop is American, but still America is full of different types of people, whereas Afrobeats feels African. It comes from a place, it comes from a people, it comes from there's something behind it. My question to you is, are you conscious that you're making Africa in England? Does that affect what you're doing? Is there a bit where you have to say to yourself, like, I've got to make an English, quote unquote, English tune today? Or does making Afrobeats feel normal to you now? Because there's people 5 years before you who would have been very conscious that they're making music that the majority of the country that they live in, it's not for them, they're not from there, they can't relate to it. Whereas actually you're being quite audacious in saying, I'm making a style of music, the instruments that I'm using, the vibe that it's coming from is not from where I am right now. But it doesn't matter. When I first started making like Afro type stuff, I wanted to be doing whatever was in the charts. But I couldn't get in the room with Wretch 32, who was big at the time. I couldn't get it, but I could get in the room with Qualms and Flavor or Mr. Silver. Like the guys, do you know what I mean? I could get in the room with those guys who were just there. So I'm doing that because I have a chance. I ain't catching a Chris Brown song. I'm just saying. I was just being realistic with myself, innit? So all the people that were around me at the time that I could get contact with were doing Afro. So just started doing it, just vibes in it out, doing that. And then when it started to get bigger, it became conscious of this is me, innit? Like, even when I was trying to do the other stuff, they were mocking me that you sound Afro. Yeah. And now it's swinging, it's coming around. So like, it just kind of fell into place. It was conscious at the beginning, but now it's natural. If there was a time, let's say, where people said, okay, we get it, Antenna, you've done it. I remember I see a white guy driving in central London listening to Antenna. I was mind blown. But like, Antenna, you know what I'm saying? We've done it now. Great, everybody. Now, we're back in pop world now, and we want to listen to stuff where we understand the language. Do you think, will you still continue to make the music that you make? Will you still continue to write the music that you write? Is that something that you guys will continue to do? Or will you actually think, okay, maybe I need to explore different
I'll be
styles?
honest, me personally, 100%. Because even in the last year or two, I was having a debate with a friend of mine, and he was like, "You lot ain't really put out nothing that's been big in the last year or two, because it's changed. It's all drill."
Okay.
And I can make drill beats for days.
Yeah.
But I feel so weird just putting a Jae5 tag on a drill beat. It just feels so.
Does it even go? Is it the right tempo?
So I'm just like, you know what? I'll do it. I work with drill artists, and I don't tag the beat, and I'll let it be on their project.
Yeah.
But if I'm doing it and put my name to it, I'm sticking to exactly what I want to do in it. So it's a bit different for me. I'd be doing this regardless, because I've got pop songs out there. I've got songs that I just don't have to scream. It's me.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So.
Do you feel like your style will change as well? Do you think that, because last year in Ghana, everybody that was there knows, we heard Amapiano.
That's it. That's all.
For 24 days straight. By the end of it, I just wanted to cut my ears off. I've never heard so much.
Oh no, they were playing nothing else. It was
nothing else.
Triple bass.
Nothing else. So there was a party. There was actually a party in Ghana where the New Year's party they did.
Yeah.
So when you bought a ticket to the party, they asked you what song you want to hear at midnight.
Yeah.
So everybody that bought a ticket, so it was basically the majority vote.
Yeah.
What song did they play at midnight?
I'm sure it was a Amapiano song.
What song was it? Come on, you know it.
It was it the Bamba song?
Of course. Do you want to chill with the big boys? That's how
Blame
much.
TikTok, babe. That's what it
listen,
is.
I'm not blaming anyone. I love culture. I love music.
Yeah.
I would never. I think it's amazing. I don't have any issue with it. But I'm saying for you, as someone like you said, you found yourself now. You know who you are. You know what you want to write. You know what you're interested in. Did that happen because of the trend of music, or do you feel like that's you regardless to the end of time? That's the energy that you always want to deliver when it comes to music.
Oh, that's 1,000% me. Even as a dancer, like in the UK, we had like street dancers, this dancer, da-da-da. For me, it was super important. Like, I'm going to own this African thing. And I feel like it worked out in our advantage. The whole Britain's Got Talent getting booked with this person. And because we're different.
Right.
If we're like street dancers, zero bookings. Like, listen, as much as I think I'm talented, it's not to that level.
Yeah.
Let me just stick to what I know and own it. Nobody else could do that. So I feel like I'll always stick to that. That's my lane, personally. Yeah. Musically, whatever it is, I feel like my culture, I'll stick to that, man.
Right. So when people are saying things and, making up terminology like Afroswing, even though we're all... we don't know where the word came from, guys. We're still unsure. But when people are, labeling what music is now and creating different things and, building our entertainment industry around Afrobeats, what does that mean to you guys? What role do you feel you play within Afroswing, within the culture of where we are now? If at all. Jae5 is sure he didn't make it up.
No, I'm sure I didn't make it up.
But you play a big role, whether you like it or not.
My personal role is to try and cross everything over. Like, I think an African artist should be as big as J Balvin. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it should be normal. It shouldn't even be like Burna Boy was on stage one time. He was like, "Why is it that when I do this, you go?" But if a rock person does it, it's normal.
Yes.
It needs to be normal for us to be doing that type of stuff. Do you know what I mean? And it's not just African artists. I mean UK artists. Like, my first thing was J Hus. I didn't even know we were making Afrobeats.
Right.
Like, we had garage songs on there. We had, like, do you know what I mean? We had grime songs. We had hip hop songs. Just in general, artists that I think the people around me, my friends, my family, are as talented as J Balvin and Drake and that. We're going to be as big as them.
Right.
So,
amen.
Do you know what I mean? That's just how I see it.
That's so important, though. Sorry, that question. I just love that question because I feel like a lot of people get lost in the source. It's just like, okay, this is popping now. Let's go for this. Nah. Then it's just like they have to come back because it's like, this is who you are at a later stage. So for me, I'm just going to stick to what I know, man. Yeah. What I'm good at.
You know what it is? I just feel like
fake it.
I'm still here. In the past, I lived through seeing grime music be created without people knowing what it was called. Then it got a name, then it became this thing that everybody was talking about and it got banned in these places and blah, blah, blah. And I just watched all of it happen. And then now I see it again with Afrobeats. But it feels so much bigger because it's global. It's a style of music that's not just from, East London like grime was. It's something that has come from an entire continent. And so I'm looking at the people that are a part of making it and I think, are you guys even conscious of what you're doing? And it's interesting that you're both kind of saying, we're just doing what just feels natural to us and what we like. So I just wonder how big and how far Afrobeats goes because there's a clear line of who it belongs to, I guess. Yeah. Anybody can listen to it, but who it belongs to and who can make it, there's a real clear line. So it's like the people that are involved in it, no pressure, guys, on you. You are the people that are are growing what we now call and what people know is Afro swing.
But honestly, even if a white person's making Afrobeats, as long as they're good at it, nobody minds, you know.
Do you think so?
Honestly, I think it's when it starts to feel like you've taken a bit of it. Okay, if I heard a song, I don't hear a song and go, is that person white? Or, but if it's whack and I go to find out that you've just taken bits of the culture,
Jae5,
I'm going to be a bit offended.
Afrobeats, a white Afrobeat artist.
I wouldn't mind it.
Even with Ed Sheeran, I feel like this is not. I feel like it worked out because
I was about to say
because
Shape of You is
first of all, it's Ed Sheeran and he's black.
You see? Why is he black? Why is he black? Because he's good.
He's always been black. Okay,
he's good.
sorry.
Breaking news on Sounds of Black Britain podcast. Ed Sheeran is a black man.
As soon as you're that good, they go, he's one of us.
He's black.
He's a black Ghanaian man.
He's a black man.
He's got the tat and
He's a
everything.
black Ghanaian man. Wow, you've even given him what's his Ghanaian name? Kwame. What day was he born?
Crazy.
I'm so sure he has a Ghanaian flag tatted on him.
Are you? I think he does.
He does.
No, I think he does.
He was in Ghana with Fuse for a while.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, he was just so good. People were just like, he's man. If he was rubbish, it don't matter how many times you go Ghana or how many what you tat. If he was rubbish, they would have told you, listen, clear off.
I don't know.
Band that made an Afrobeat song. It was banging, but people made a whole.
I haven't heard it,
you didn't see that post? Oh gosh, yeah. Now the song bangs.
Is it? Actually, you got to be good at it. If you're good at it, people forgive anything. Man.
But then this is what I think is interesting because so then the question is Afrobeats a style of music or is it a culture?
Both.
It's everything. Yeah.
It's a bit of both.
It's a movement because it's everything together. Yeah.
I want to see. I want to see a white person making Afrobeats, and I want to see what that is like.
Okay.
Because
I always want to see that as well.
You've got to think about the elements of Afrobeats outside of the actual instrumentation is the language that is spoken on the track. So, unless we're gonna, I know there's white people that speak different dialects.
Broken English, you know what I mean?
But there's a whole, there's a whole energy.
I know, yeah.
Are you working with someone now? Is that what this is? Are you already working with the person?
No, I'm not.
You found the person. You know they're good.
You know what it is,
and you're planting the seeds so that we accept them.
You know what it is? I just after I heard like Shape of You and then I was just like, rah, man, he actually did an Afro song and nobody noticed it.
Hold on.
No, it was not Julie Afroswing. It was.
As soon as Young Bane did a remix, it was calm in the club.
Is Shape of You an Afrobeat song?
No, not Afrobeats. I would say
Afro influence,
Afro swing.
But it was just a banger. You didn't think anything of it.
Oh my God.
With the percussion and the movement.
My mind is blown.
You didn't think nothing of it.
Yeah, because my white friends were calling it Afrobeats.
It's very different from...
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
It was not the same thing. It was so
my
far
goodness. Less. What have you just told me?
It's to say, I think it's Afro, personally. I think
you've changed
if you took him
life.
off of it and put the same lyrics and put Wizkid singing that song, you would have seen it's a different song.
Yeah.
The line that we're talking about now is, and we will see it in Afrobeats because some people won't understand where it comes from and what it means.
Yeah.
They'll just know that it's the sound of the moment. So we will see people who are not from Africa making Afrobeats. So it's a good conversation to have. But when you're saying if it doesn't feel right, it doesn't matter because the population of the UK doesn't know what feel right means. Yeah. So if give me an artist who's Dua Lipa makes an Afrobeat song, and
glad because
that noise, Jay went. If Dua Lipa makes an Afrobeat song and the entire country outside of the black population buys it, then that's a massive song, whether we think it's good or not.
But I know we'd have an issue with that because that's not a true representation of Afrobeats. That's when it becomes But then is that bad for Afrobeats or is that a positive?
I can't lie, I don't think it's bad. If it shines light and then another 10 Afrobeat artists come through after that,
That are all white or?
No.
You see? But when do we start,
But that's what I mean.
Enough is enough, yeah.
And that's something that I think as people who are part of Afrobeats that you guys, producers, artists should be aware of is that once a genre and a style becomes the thing, it's the thing.
Yeah.
No one's going back to find out about Fela Kuti and, what difference between Afrorock and Afrobeats and Afrobeats and da-da-da-da. It's now the thing. I just wonder where... I wonder how far it goes and where it goes.
I've never been a fan of gatekeeping though. I feel it brushes me the wrong way.
Same, I agree.
Like if someone wants to do something, they should do it. If it's whack, we'll tell you. But yeah, it feels like we almost saying, should it be gatekeeped? So should we not let? I don't agree with that.
Yeah. No, I don't agree either. But the other option is Dua Lipa brings through 10 Afrobeat artists that are not black. I'm excited to see where Afrobeats goes, especially because it's from my culture. I recognize it. It's music that like we said earlier, it was music that we did not hear at all in the clubs, and now it's what you dance to now in general. What do you guys think the future of Afrobeats is? What would you like to see in the future of Afrobeats? Jay, I know you said you want artists to be as big as J Balvin. Is there anything else on your list that you'd like?
No, that's just it. I just want us to be as big as everyone else and respected for the talent, because do you know what I mean? Like, there's a mad talent out there, and then there's subpar talent that's doing a lot better just because of do you know what I mean? So I want it to be a thing of if you're as good or better than that person, you should be bigger than them, not because you're an African artist. Or, do you know what I mean? So that's my take on that.
Yeah, same. Just like everywhere, like just like Africa just taking over everywhere. Movies, not just musically as well. I want to hear African music in movies. Fast and Furious. I want to hear an Afrobeat song on there.
Yeah.
Cooking show. I want to hear adverts. What's the advert? Moonpig.com. I heard my piano song. I was shocked. But why am I shocked? that comment you said earlier, like, we shouldn't be shocked. We should be like, should be happening. But just more of that.
My final question to you both. You're at a hall party. You've been there for a while. You've had some food. You know, your belly's full now. Your outfit's fire. You see your friends. You're all talking. It's a nice vibe. But then a song comes on that makes you have to get up and dance. Whether it be Afrorock, Afrobeat, or Afroswing, what song is going to make you get out of your seat, leave your half-eaten chicken? What song is it going to be?
Can I go first?
Caro was just playing in my head, but I'm not sure if that's a song I would like to hear.
Wait, go on.
Caro.
Okay.
That's what,
That's
as
your
you
song?
were just, no, but it's weird.
I feel like I'm judging you immediately, but go on.
I'm judging myself because it's like, why? But as you were literally describing that, I'm like, Caro's playing in my head. I'm like about to get up.
Okay, no, that's cool.
But it has to be something along those lines. But it's not Caro. No, I'm not proud.
Okay.
J5, I'll go after. I'll go after you.
I don't even think that many people know this one, but mine is Kwabna Kwabna Aso.
How does that go?
Then the beat starts. I have to play the tune.
No, I need to hear.
You know the tune as soon as it plays. Kwabna Kwabna Aso.
Mate.
Probably the best Ghanaian song ever made.
Relax.
Wow.
Ever made.
Relax.
Say it. Like, that was like
Jay.
Ghanaian music at its peak for me. It was like, yo, you can't touch
I
us.
probably know this
I just
song.
need you to relax because you can't drop that one.
What? Just
you
play the
can't.
tune.
You can't drop that at all. Best Ghanaian song ever made.
Best Ghanaian song.
Mine has to be Tolege.
Tolege.
Yeah.
Is that a Ghanaian song?
Tolege.
It's a banger.
I need to hear that.
Tune.
You see them vocals that they were doing them? Oh, they had a girl in the background.
That song, it's either that or it's oh why yeah.
Big song. Okay. I know that song. Big song. Come on.
Listen,
See that era of Ghanaian music,
big
yeah?
song.
Them two tunes, I will literally. So Otolege is what I think is like 5.5 minutes, 6 minutes long.
Yeah.
I will dance to the duration of this. Don't mix it out. Give me start to finish of that tune. I want that tune at my wedding. I want a tune at my funeral. That is my favorite. That is the best Ghanaian
Wow.
tune.
It's a banger.
That's a classic. Yeah.
It's
So deep.
Even I know
bro.
that one,
That
yeah.
tune is deep. We're still waiting on you. You know. We can
Anything by Castro. Castro, yeah?
It doesn't have to be Ghanaian. Castro's a G, though.
No.
Wait, you just can't pick anything. I need one
See,
song.
that's where I'm at. Because I feel like my choices are
just anything at all.
You know what? I'm going to make myself. Brenda Fassie, Wedding Day. That's a big one. Come on now. You guys don't know it, do you?
No, I don't know
No,
it.
when you sang it, I knew the melody, but I don't know the title.
I'm going to go and listen to
It's a
it.
wedding day, yeah. That's a big song, yeah.
I'm going to go and listen to it. By the way, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This has been a pleasure. Appreciate you
good.
both. Thank you. The embracing of sounds direct from the continent and the creativity that birthed Afrorock and Afroswing in Britain are perfect examples of the reason why the UK might be black music's most innovative space. The mixture of cultures, sounds, and styles means that Afrorock and Afroswing could only have happened here. And if I'm wrong, tell me I'm lying. That That's all for this episode of Sounds of Black Britain. Join me next time where we'll be looking at the racial politics of the dance floor and how this has influenced what we listen to and where we meet to dance to it. Make sure you check it out. The Sounds of Black Britain podcast is brought to you by the Black Curriculum and produced by Unedited. Presented by me, Julie Adenuga. Our executive producer is Andrew Spence. The series producer is Sifa Inchi. Our assistant producers are Akeem Moore-Nickel and Buki Fadipe. This episode was filmed by JJ Jemio. The series is written by Drew Christie. Our sound designer is Tony Onuchukwu.